So 15-minute race, and we can see the front row of the grid is fully formed. So just to give you the colours, yellow, red and blue for Clive Hainsworth. Alongside is a Honda white and black of Rob Burley. Row 2 of the grid, it's largely white and grey and red, the Renault of Robert Buckland. Alongside the white and grey Seat Leon of Andy Thompson. Row 3 of the grid, the colours, the all red Renault Clio of Nick Gwinnett. Alongside the largely red and white but with a black bonnet Vauxhall Astra of Peter Osborne. And row 4, it's the white Renault Clio but with the French Tricolore on the roof. Alongside the all red Renault 5 Turbo of David Clark, number 87. That gives you the colours on the front few rows of the grid. And then the final row of the grid is just about to come into position now. The final full row of the grid, that is. Stefan Oates at his own comes into position. 5-second board is held aloft. 15-minute race for the Track Attack Race Club, their 5th race of the season. Already race winner sitting on pole position, Clive Hainsworth. Can he get the best start possible and try and beat Rod Burley off the line? Lights go out. It's a good start from pole position for the rotary end in Manchester. Rod Burley is a little bit slower away, and as they now head up towards Paddock Hill Bend for the first time, it's Clive Hainsworth that leads the race. Robert Buckland is going wheel to wheel with Rod Burley, but Rod Burley sweeps his way in the Honda Integra around the outside of the Renault Clio, takes up second place. So Robert Buckland is down into second place, coming under attack from the car of Nick Gwinnett, as all the way around the outside of Nick Gwinnett goes the Seat Leon of Andy Thompson. So it's Clive Hainsworth, Clive Hainsford that leads the race. Rod Burley in second place, third at the moment. Oh, that's rather close, isn't it? Robert Buckland sitting there in third place. Andy Thompson was fourth, but was a bit too late on the brakes heading in towards Graham Hill Bend. He'll be down to fifth as Nick Gwinnett carves his way through.
Absolutely, and speaking of carving their way through, Toby Hunter had a fantastic start off the line. He's on the attack now as he makes his way all the way through that right-hander of McLaren and in towards Clearways. It's pretty much single file as they make their way now in towards that last couple of corners, in towards Clark Curve and on towards the Brabham Straight. It is still race leader Hainsford leading the way in that number 52, but close company behind him is the 150 of Burley. In third place it is Buckland in the number 75, and Gwinnett up to fourth place from that fast start.
Yeah, great start, wasn't it, from Nick Gwinnett? So it's Mazda from Honda, then 2 Renaults, then a Vauxhall, then a Seat, then another couple of Renaults thereafter. But the leading pair are breaking away. Clive Hainsford coming under pressure from Rod Burley into the braking area for the left-hander at Graham Hill Bend for the second time. Slightly slower coming out of the corner is the Mazda, but in a straight line he's got the grunt, so doesn't really come under pressure from Rod Burley as they head down the Cooper Straight. So it is still Clive Hainsford that leads the race. It's still Rod Burley in second place, and a good fight, and Q beginning to form now for third position. It's still Robert Buckland, only just slow from Nick Gwinnett, and wanting to join in the fun as well is the 5th place car, the third in that little trio of Peter Osborne. The Vauxhall Astra sits there behind.
Absolutely, coming across the start-finish line now. Hainsford still leading the way on towards Paddock Hill Bend, second place behind him in Burley. But look at this side by side then. They go, Nick Gwinnett on the outside here with Buckland on the inside in towards Paddock Hill Bend. I think Gwinnett here will try and prioritise his exit out of Paddock Hill Bend. Up the hill he goes. I think he's just slightly too far behind, but watch out for the car behind in Osborne in the 177, looking for an opportunity if Gwinnett makes a mistake up ahead, but that doesn't happen and he has to stay behind there. But that battle there for third place between the 75, my apologies, for Buckland and the 14 of Gwinnett. That's going to be a close battle for third.
Yeah, Robert Buckland still trying to get the rears up to temperature, because you could see there was some oversteer mid-corner at Paddock Hill Bend, and he just lost a little bit of time then going up Halewood Hill, which allowed Nick Gwinnett to close. This next lap through, of course, will be a bit more temperature in those rear tyres, and he should find that when he heads up towards Paddock Hill Bend, hopefully the grip level is where he wants it. Through go the leading pair, Clive Hainsford from Rod Burley. Under attack again is Robert Buckland from Nick Gwinnett. The 2 Clios pretty much side by side heading in towards the braking area for Paddock Hill Bend, where there are yellow flags at this stage because we have got one car that is retiring at the bottom of Paddock Hill Bend onto the old rallycross course, I'm afraid to say, and I think that might be car number 22 Nick Moore's Citroen Saxo that's out of the race.
They're just rolling that car backwards there, hopefully into an escape road, but the yellow flags will still be out there at turn 1. They've brought them in now, so the marshals feel it's in a safe place, the race directors feel it's in a safe place, so we are green flag in all sectors. Yeah, that's really unfortunate there, and falling through the order there is the number 22 of Moore there, so unfortunate for him, second retirement. Well, one of them didn't even start the race in the 119 of Glover, focusing now on this battle for the lead and also for the battle for third place. Hainsford still leads from Burley, but what about this battle here between the number 75 of Buckland and the number 14 of Gwinnett? Gwinnett goes around the outside in towards Paddock Hill Bend. Can he find the move this time around? No, No, he can't. The number 75 of Buckland holds firm in through Paddock Hill Bend, and that seems to cost Gwinnett through the exit there of Paddock Hill Bend. He can't quite get the acceleration, quite fight the line there as they now make their way through Druids there. Under pressure then is that Vauxhall, where you've got the Renault Clio around the outside. I believe that is Toby Hunter for run for his money.
Yeah, Tony Hunter looking to try and switch back and try and sneak up the inside at Clearways, but Peter Osborne has got that one covered off. Over the start finish line come the leading pair. Rob Burley last time through set the fastest lap of the race. Through he goes over the start finish line, and neither of the leading pair have gone any quicker that time through, so still a 54.862 is the fastest lap of the race that we've had. Leading the race overall and leading the Nippon Trophy element of it is Clive Hainsford. There's traffic up the road just to deal with. The leading Tricolore Trophy car, of course, will still be just about the number 75 Renault Clio of Robert Buckland, who is there in third position, and then as the race leader is carving his way through the traffic, this could be the opportunity here for Rod Burley to try and sneak his way through. No, not quite. Big spit of flame, the unburnt fuel igniting out of the exhaust of our race leader's car, Chris Hainsforth. Now, he has led every lap so far, but he has certainly not been able to pull away from Rod Burley. The fight is still on, isn't it, for the lead of the race, Kieran?
Absolutely. It looks like they're trying to go side by side as they make their way through Clark Kerr, but that grunt from Hainsford there is able to keep him ahead, and that is what's keeping him in the lead of this race. That grunt of the engine down the start finish straight is keeping him once again. That battle for third place between Gwinnett there and Buckland as they come across traffic. Gwinnett are again around the outside, but he can't find that grip that he needs. He's a lot closer to that number 75 car of Buckland than he was before as they make their way now up towards Druids. Gwinnett now is on the outside, but again he can't find that move past. He must be really frustrated in that car. He knows he can try and get past that third place, but it's not happening. Meanwhile, battle for the lead again with Hainsford and Burley making their way now on towards the left-hander of Surtees, and again Hainsford just about holding on.
Yeah, just having a look for who is the leading car in the 206 GTI trophy as well, because that was one that I haven't managed to pick out as yet. I think that's going to be the number 8 car that's the leading 206 that we've got in the field, which is going to be Andy Wheatley's car. This is the all-silver car. The leading pair, though, over the start-finish line. Rod Burley still not that far behind our race leader. Fastest lap of the race last time through went to Tony Hunter at the wheel of the number 1 Renault Clio with a 54.392, and that was as he managed to carve his way through and pass Peter Osborne's Vauxhall Astra VXR as well. So it's now it's Mazda leading, Honda second, it's Renault Clio's third, fourth and fifth, Vauxhall Astra in 6th place, Renault 5 Turbo in 7th, Seat Leon in 8th place, another Renault 5 Turbo in 9th, and completing the top 10 is going to be, I think, a Mini, isn't it? Yeah, car number 23, Paul Clothier completes the top 10.
Yeah, Tony Hunter got the move done around the outside going in through Clearway, so a nice move there, and of course one of the fastest cars out there at this moment in time. He's going and trying to go for that podium position now, up to 5th place. It's not far away, that podium battle from him, and that'll only motivate him further to try and get on the back of that one. Lead pair come across the start finish line now. We're just about halfway through this race as Hainsford sets his personal best of 54.6 ahead of Burley as they make their way in towards Paddock Hill Bend. Once again that battle for third place is heating up. Buckland still on the inside of Gwinnett there as they make their way through Paddock Hill Bend. Down the hill they go, up the rise of Hailwoods Hill and in towards Druids once again, and Gwinnett is just making life difficult for that number 75 of Buckland then as they make their way through down the hill towards Graham Hill Bend. And it must also be frustrating for Burley and the number 150 Rod Burley from Sevenoaks in that Honda. Just can't seem to find a way past. He lacks that grunt at top end to try and make the move stick, and that really hurts him going down that start finish straight and onwards towards Paddock Hill Bend.
Yeah, more traffic to deal with as well just up the road, and they need to continually just tick off all of these bits of traffic that they meet as quickly as possible. There was this Paul Rice or Stephen Fuller's car they're coming up against, not quite sure. They're both pretty similarly liveried. It's number 42, so it's Paul Rice's car. Through goes Clive Hainsford, still leading the race. Rod Burley still in 2nd place. Still the Clios side by side, and again it's Robert Buckland on the inside line. Former Jaguar racer Nick Gwinnett trying the high line, but he just wasn't fully alongside that time through. The idea is if he can get himself alongside on the high line going in, switch back on the exit coming out, but every time he tries that, Robert Buckland is wise to it, and now because these two are squabbling, it's allowed Tony Hunter to close up, but all of a sudden Tony Hunter's got a problem at the wheel of the 5th place Renault Clio coming out of Druids. All of a a sudden the car lost momentum and he's pulling the car off on the grass down at Graham Hill Bend, I'm afraid to say. So it's now back to 2 cars fighting away for 3rd and 4th place, and poor old Tony Hunter, was heading towards retirement. He's now decided to rejoin the race again. Whatever the problem was, hold control and delete, he's reset something and he's off again.
Yeah, he is. That was a very bizarre moment there, wasn't it? Coming down towards Graham Hill Bend, but obviously he feels it's safe to re-continue and carry on his way. Meanwhile, again, Gwinnett still trying to find that outside line in towards the first corner there, and it's not working because Buckland's got Gwinnett right where he wants him, round the outside in towards Paddock Hill Bend. Look at that, Gwinnett trying to find a move up the inside, but the door's not open there. He can't find that way through, and yeah, as long as Gwinnett's on the outside, he can't find that way through. Meanwhile, our lead pair are really trying to side their way through that traffic. Hainsford and Burley just trying to pick the right moment to make their way through. They don't want to make a silly mistake here. A mistake could cost them the lead of the race.
There's a great fight going on for 5th and 6th place as well between Peter Osborne's Vauxhall Astra VXR. We have big old spin, and that was Robert Buckland that had the spin, I'm afraid to say. So Nick Gwinnett can eventually carve his way through. Robert Buckland will recover, but will only join the circuit behind Andy Thompson, so that drops him from 3rd down to 7th. The leading pair over the start finish line. Clive Hainsford continues to lead, 4 3/4 minutes to go. Rob Burley in 2nd place. Nick Gwinnett now safely at the wheel of his Clio in 3rd place. Fight for 4th and 5th between Peter Osborne's Vauxhall Astra and Dave Clark's Renault 5 Turbo, and then Andy Thompson moves up inside the top 6. Robert Buckland does get going and will finish in 7th.
That's a move for the lead of the race there, down the inside in towards Graham Hill Bend. That is Burley in the 150 who's taken the race lead. Through the traffic they go, and then he takes the inside line with a Mini Cooper there lapping is on the outside. Smart move from the number 150 of Burley. He now takes over the lead of the race, but the challenge now is to try and keep that number 52 of Clive Hainsford behind him down this long start-finish straight. It's going to feel like the longest straight he's ever been on for Burley, to try and defend against that Mazda heading down towards Paddock Hill Bend. He's just about done enough here through turn 1, but there's still 3 and a bit minutes to go to try and hold on to that lead of the race.
Yeah, perfectly done by Rob Burley, just utilising the traffic and that split second of dichotomy that Clive Hainsworth felt that he was in, and didn't really sort of decide one way or the other what he wanted to do as he was approaching the traffic, and Rob Burley was very decisive. Now for Rod Burley, he will know that he is better than the Mazda on the brakes. He will also know that he is outgunned by the power of the Mazda down the straight, so his key is going to be keeping as much momentum round through the corners as he can, and trying to make sure that he just positions the car in the correct place down the start finish line and down the Cooper Straight, the 2 straights here at Brands Hatch on the Indy circuit, to try and hang on to the lead of the race. This is lap number 13 that they are about to complete, and as they come over the start finish line now, Clive Hainsford is closing a bit more in the slipstream, almost gets the Mazda alongside the Honda, but can't quite do it before he runs out of straight. So it's still Burley from Hainsford for the lead of the race. Nick Gwinnett there in 3rd position. He will be the leading car in the Tricolore Trophy at this stage, because of course out front the 2 cars that are leading are both part of the Nippon Challenge.
Yeah, Hainsford is really putting his foot down now. He's set the fastest lap of this race, 53.627, but Burley on that lap set his personal best of a 53.695, so it's a fine margins between the 2 of them, and it's whether or not Burley can hold on to that lead of the race. It's going to be a really tough challenge for him as they're now making their way through the final right-handers, as they make their way now through McLaren and through Clearways on towards the Brabham Straight, with not a lot of time to go here. And just coming into the view of the commentary box window there, you can see the number 150 of Rod Burley in the Honda Integra still holding on to the lead of this race, ahead of the number 52. Bit of a lock up there from one of the Clios heading in towards Paddock Hill Bend. That might have been a bit of a scary moment for our race leader there, but he's managed to try and find his way through. Up the inside of the back marker he will go, those blue flags being waved to warn drivers that the lead pair are coming through. In fact, the Mini Cooper there has taken full advantage of those blue flags and gets himself ahead of that Renault Clio. Now that's always an advantage when you're a back marker with those blue flags. It's the number 123 there of Paul Clothier, who has taken advantage there of the leaders coming through and got himself a position in the making.
Yeah, perfect opportunity to grab a place, and then a big spin for the Renault Clio of Gerald Merriman that he's just taken that place away from. So Gerald just losing the tail end of the Clio, having been fighting away with Paul Clothier. He lost the tail end heading through Surtees, and the car was facing backwards by the time he got towards McLaren over the start finish line go the leading pair, 1 minute and 11 seconds remaining on the clock. So onto the penultimate lap of the race goes Rod Burley with the biggest margin that he's had so far really in the race. It's almost 0.9 of a second now, first to second place. Nick Gwinnett, car number 14 at the wheel of his Renault Clio, is 10.5 seconds adrift in third place. Fourth place is 177 Peter Osborne at this stage. Fifth position is Andy Thompson now, who's up into fifth place, which means that Dave Clark's Renault 5 Turbo drops down to sixth on that lap.
Absolutely, but all eyes on that lead pair for sure, as that gap is starting to increase between the two of them. 0.8 of a second it was as they came past the start-finish line last time around, and Nick Gwinnett has been in tremendous form. Obviously he was battling away for that third place. He's got it now and trying to extend that lead over Osborne. 2.5 seconds between himself and that fourth place 177 car. Final lap of this race then started by the number 150 of Rod Burley, heading his way now in towards Paddock Hill Bend and down the hill, then up the Halewoods Hill towards Druids, and he's worked hard for that second place. He's taken full advantage with those back markers as well, where the number 52 of Haynesford struggled to try and make an option, struggled to think quickly enough, and outthought there by the Honda Integra of the 150 of Burley, making their way now through in towards the last section now as we head towards Surtees and McLaren. But it looks like he's going to try and hold on for this one. He's only got the series of right-handers to go through Clearways and then through Clark Curve, and that's all he's got then through in towards the Brabham Straight to try and take the checkered flag. Here he comes then, the number 150 of Burley in the Honda Integra is going to take the race win here, and a well-deserved win at that. He wins the first race ahead of Haynesford there in the number 52. We see now trying to spot the Renault Clio of Gwinnett there, making his way towards that start finish line. He's going to grab third place overall. That's a fantastic result for the number 14 Clio there. Great result for him. Osborne then in the number 177 in that Vauxhall Astra, taking fourth place. The number 43 of Thompson in the first of the Seats comes across the line in fifth place overall. Clark in the number 87.